He was too loud, too brash, too crazy to take seriously. He said LaMelo was better than Steph Curry at 16. He said Lonzo would be the face of the Lakers. He said LiAngelo would make the NBA even when scouts said he'd never see the court. And then he did something no other sports dad had ever done. He built a basketball empire from scratch. This is the story of LaVar Ball, a father, a visionary, a marketing machine, and maybe the most misunderstood genius in modern sports. Because while the world mocked him, his sons made the NBA. His brand made millions, and he never doubted a single second. Let's rewind and find out how LaVar Ball actually won. Before the bright lights, before the reality show, before Big Baller Brand hit the shelves, there was just a father, a mother, and a dream. LaVar Ball didn't start as a media personality. He started as a dad with a plan so ambitious, people thought he was insane. He and his wife Tina Ball were both accomplished athletes. Tina was a standout college hooper at Cal State Fullerton, while LaVar played tight end and power forward before getting short stints with NFL practice squads like the Jets and Panthers. But the real dynasty wouldn't be built on touchdowns or jumpers. It would be built at home, in Chino Hills, California. From the very beginning, LaVar wasn't just raising kids, he was engineering competitors. He taught them about confidence, about dominance, about believing you were better, and backing it up. Lonzo was the golden child, naturally gifted, quiet, cerebral. He had the IQ of Jason Kidd, with the speed and length of Penny Hardaway. LiAngelo was the bruiser, strong, physical, a born scorer who didn't care what position you put him at, he was going to get buckets. LaMelo, the wild card, the entertainer, flashy, fearless, and oozing swagger before he could even spell NBA. From the time they were toddlers, LaVar was filming them, coaching them, building the myth, not just as individuals, but as a family unit. He turned their backyard into a gym, put cones in the driveway, had them run drills before school, and even filmed highlight tapes of the boys dominating local games. "We ain't waiting on the system to give my boys anything. We're taking it ourselves," LaVar Ball said. LaVar's real genius wasn't just raising athletes. It was controlling their narrative. He didn't wait for the media to notice them. He created his own media. He had his sons playing organized basketball years ahead of schedule, putting up absurd numbers in elementary and middle school. By the time Lonzo was in high school, Chino Hills wasn't just a school. It was a show. All three brothers played together on one team, running a high-octane, full-court press, dropping 90-plus points per game, and humiliating every school in California. They went 35-0 in 2016, winning the state title and finishing the season as the #1 team in the nation. Cameras followed. YouTube channels exploded. The brand was taking shape. This wasn't luck. This was LaVar's blueprint playing out in real time. While other parents were just proud their kids made varsity, LaVar was predicting NBA stardom before puberty hit. He told every coach, every scout, every podcast mic he touched, "All my boys going to the league, first-round picks, Big Baller Brand, write it down." Nobody believed him, but they weren't listening close enough. LaVar wasn't just raising hoopers. He was creating products, content, and icons in a way no sports parent had ever done before. And as the spotlight started growing, he was just getting started. By the time Lonzo Ball hit UCLA, LaVar Ball wasn't just a parent on the sideline. He was a headline. Out of nowhere, this towering, loud-talking father from Chino Hills was dominating every sports debate show in America. He didn't ask to be invited. He forced his way in with pure audacity. And the secret? He knew exactly what he was doing. It started small, with outrageous quotes during Lonzo's college run. But then came the real thunder. "Lonzo is better than Steph Curry. All three of my sons will play in the NBA. I would have beaten Michael Jordan one-on-one. Easy." Analysts laughed. Fans cringed. Social media erupted. Stephen A. Smith called him a walking hot take. Charles Barkley told him to shut up. Even Magic Johnson, who drafted Lonzo, asked him to tone it down. But LaVar? He doubled down. He wanted the smoke. Because for LaVar, all publicity was good publicity. And while most parents sit in the bleachers quietly, he was creating generational attention, not just for Lonzo, but for the entire Ball family. In 2016, with Lonzo still in college, LaVar shocked the sports world again. Instead of signing a $10 million shoe deal with Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour, he turned them all down. "If they ain't talking $1 billion, we don't want the deal." Then he launched his own brand, Big Baller Brand. Their debut shoe, the ZO2 Prime, dropped with a $495 price tag, and the internet exploded. Critics called it delusional. Athletes laughed. Some fans were outraged, but others, they bought in. Literally. BBB was the first player-owned, family-run sports brand in modern basketball history. T-shirts, hats, hoodies. It wasn't just about shoes. It was about building a movement, one that LaVar said would one day compete with Nike itself. And in a way, he wasn't wrong. For a while, Big Baller brand was trending harder than Jordan brand. At the same time, the Ball family's YouTube channel and Facebook show, Ball and the Family, went viral. Millions of fans tuned in weekly to watch behind-the-scenes workouts, family drama, overseas adventures, the business roller coaster. LaVar wasn't just creating basketball content, he was creating a full-blown entertainment brand. He was the Kris Jenner of the NBA, a fact that even TV hosts like Skip Bayless admitted while rolling their eyes. The real difference? LaVar's product wasn't makeup or fashion, it was talent. And that talent was heading to the NBA. Of course, the backlash came fast too. Coaches thought he was a distraction. Reporters accused him of living through his kids. Even Charles Barkley said, "He ain't doing them any favors." But here's what most people missed. Every outrageous quote made his kids more famous. Every media feud gave them more leverage. Every crazy moment was part of a calculated PR plan. LaVar understood brand building before the NBA ever did. And while the world debated whether he was insane or brilliant, one thing was clear. He was winning. When LaVar Ball said all three of his sons would make it to the NBA, the world laughed. Even one kid making it to the league is a miracle. But three? That sounded like a fantasy. And yet, here we are. Each Ball brother, Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo, took a completely different path, different styles, different levels of spotlight, different stories. But they were all part of the same master plan. Ball control, ball movement, ball dominance. Lonzo was always the one with the pressure, the first to make it. The first to carry the Ball name onto the national stage. At UCLA, he was electric. His vision, speed, and basketball IQ turned the Bruins into a must-watch squad overnight. Averaged 14.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 7.6 assists. Led UCLA to a 31-5 record, became a projected top 3 NBA pick. In 2017, the Los Angeles Lakers selected Lonzo with the number 2 overall pick. Magic Johnson himself said Lonzo would be the next great Laker point guard. The hype was unreal, but Lonzo's rookie year was rocky. His shot was inconsistent. He battled injuries, and with LaVar dominating headlines, it felt like the pressure was crushing him. Still, Lonzo evolved. After being traded to the Pelicans, he became a versatile two-way guard, known for his elite passing, defense, and improved three-point shot. Before a devastating knee injury in 2022, he was averaging career highs across the board and becoming one of the best young point guards in the league. His future is uncertain, but his impact was real. LiAngelo didn't get the same shine. He wasn't as quick as LaMelo or as flashy as Lonzo. And when he got caught shoplifting during UCLA's overseas trip to China in 2017, he was suspended indefinitely and eventually left the program. Analysts said he was done. Scouts said he was too slow, too one-dimensional, too risky. But LiAngelo kept grinding. He went to Lithuania with LaMelo, then to the JBA, then to NBA Summer League, G League stints, and workouts with multiple teams. He didn't care how it looked. He just wanted a shot. And while LiAngelo hasn't stuck on an NBA roster long-term, he defied the odds by playing in actual NBA preseason games, G League contests, and continuing to fight for a dream most people wrote off years ago. He may not be an all-star, but Liangeloball proved he's not just the middle brother. He's a relentless worker, and a reminder that LaVar wasn't delusional. And then, there was LaMelo, the youngest, the flashiest, the most doubted, and now, the most dominant. LaMelo's journey was nothing short of wild. Dropped 92 points in a high school game at 15, skipped college entirely, played in Lithuania at 16, launched his own signature shoe as a teen, played in Australia's NBL where he won Rookie of the Year. And in 2020, the Charlotte Hornets drafted LaMelo with the number 3 overall pick. What happened next? He didn't just play well, he took over. 2021 Rookie of the Year, 2022 All-Star, a walking highlight reel with no fear, dazzling passes, and deep threes. By 2025, he's the face of the Hornets and one of the most marketable players in the league. LaMelo Ball is exactly what LaVar promised he'd be. The best ball brother, The one who's going to take over the league. 3 brothers, 3 different paths, 3 professional careers. Lonzo proved he could lead. LiAngelo proved he could survive. LaMelo proved he could thrive. They didn't just make the NBA, they made history. And LaVar Ball? He didn't just raise basketball players. He built a brand, a blueprint, and a legacy. But not everything went perfectly. Big Baller Brand faced legal issues after their co-founder was accused of embezzling over $1 million. Lonzo left the brand. Fans called the company a bust. LaVar stayed defiant. And now, the brand is quietly making a comeback. Rebranded, rebuilt, with LaVar still leading the charge, speaking at youth events, running camps, and staying vocal about Black ownership in sports. More importantly, the Ball family is still tight. They're a unit, a brand, a story that's not over yet. Was LaVar Ball arrogant? Yes. Was he over the top? Every day. But was he wrong? Not even a little. He took 3 sons, raised them in one of the most competitive sports in the world, and put all of them on the professional basketball map. He built a brand from his living room. And even if the shoes didn't last, the legacy did. LaVar Ball didn't just talk the talk. He walked it, with his kids right beside him. By the hoop. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Was LaVar Ball the GOAT sports dad? Or just ahead of his time?